Huh? Kei-chan? What are you doing? Being bombarded with such a hysterical voice, I jumped. Whoa, Keiichi-kun, are you on the baseball team? The baseball team? It was Rena and Mion. I was surprised to hear you went off ahead. What are you doing, Kei-chan? Can't you tell by looking? I'm practicing my swing for the championship. You can say it's part of my diet if you want. Diet? Kei-chan, are you really that fat? Bet you didn't know. I actually have a beer belly. It's plump and jiggles. Plump and jiggles. Rena, you don't have to imagine something weird like that. To disrupt Rena from imagining something that vulgar, I ruffled her hair messily. Well then, hope you make it to regionals at least. This old man will cheer you on. Regionally speaking, it seems that Oshima High was pretty strong. They say their southpaw Kameda-kun is amazing. Good luck. I mean, I assume that's how you say it. Seems they've made me out as some kind of local prodigy, but oh well. Stop fraternizing with the enemy, Keiichi. You have to kill them. It may be hard, but you have to. Well, if I really did make it to the championship, it would be a cinch. After all, I'd be the pitcher and the catcher. I'd pitch the ball, then run past that ball I just threw and change over to being the catcher in a burst of super incredible explosive speed. I laughed dryly at the ludicrous image. Coming back to my senses, I smashed the bat against the ground. Damn it! What am I laughing at? I pounded the ground over and over. With each impact, the reverberation traveling through the bat stung my hands. If they make me smile like that, don't allow anyone close to me. Don't trust anyone, no matter how many times I tell myself that. If they made me smile like that, I already knew quite well that there were demons dwelling in my smiling friends. But I just couldn't believe it. Did that kind of split personality really exist? Like how Rena confessed to the doctor, were they simply being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? In other words, did a supernatural being like Oyashiro-sama really exist? And was it possessing everyone to try and kill me? Yeah, that would be wonderful. If only everyone were actually my friends all along, and everything was all just Oyashiro-sama's fault. You damn fool, Keiichi Maebara. Come on now! I yelled out, drawing out all the power from the pit of my stomach, and raised the bat violently into the air. Stop being so soft! As I screamed out with my might, I beat the metal bat into the ground over and over. With every impact, my weakness was being beaten down. Smash. Forget. Smash. Don't be soft. Smash. Know your enemy. Smash. Like hell I'd let them kill me! My shoulders heaving up and down from my ragged breathing, I heard the first bell ring as I calmed down. Fuck school, I'm not going in. Fuck 'em, I don't care. Too much of a badass. I gasped with the sudden realization. That was the final bell. As I felt all the tension drain from me, I let out a deep breath. My mind was in a muddled state from much of the entire day. I didn't feel like I was awake, but it didn't feel like I was asleep either. I couldn't say it especially comfortable, but I felt a kind of relief that the sanctity of the school part of my daily life had yet to be violated. How long would I have to keep on living like this? I could only grit my teeth and bear with it as long as this living hell slowly gnawed away at me. Keiichi-kun, come on. It's club time. Club time. Fuck off. Screw the club. The sound of Rena's voice brought me back to my senses. Come on, Kei-chan. Stop spacing out. Bring your desk. Everyone was moving their desks together, as usual. That's right, it was a happy, fun club time. But I had no intention of taking part. I haphazardly stuffed the contents of my desk into my bags as I prepared to go home. It was a weak-handed gesture to avoid having to actually say, I'll be going home now. What's this, Kei-chan? You planning on going home right away again? Mion sounded quite disappointed. I'm just not in the mood. Could you just let me be for a while? The tone of the words that spilled from my mouth matched Mion's disapproving glare. It felt like the air in the room had dried out. Satoko looked like she was about to say something, but perhaps dissuaded by the mood, she swallowed her words and stayed silent. Nobody said a thing. I took that to mean that I could leave if I wanted. But the collective gaze of the four of them, like the tiny pins used to mount an insect in a display, held me in place. Rena was the one who cut through the heavy mood. Keiichi-kun, you just didn't like playing with girls, I guess. She said in such a melancholic tone that I had sent a wave of pain racing through my heart. Ignore it, Keiichi. Be a man. Be a man. If this pain was going to kill me, I wanted it to be a soft part of me that could still feel pain. Be a heartless bastard. Do it. Crush their hopes and dreams. Or just kill the both of them, and then you don't have to worry about them killing you. Do it. I tore at my chest, violently tearing out the pins that held me in place. That's not it at all. I'd only be hurting myself by saying anything more, so I swallowed my words. Cutting things off there, I turned away and exited the classroom. They didn't speak a word to me as I left. Good man, good man. Don't fall for it. It was probably a trap. It was a long, dull trip back home, but I didn't lose focus. I firmly squeezed the grip of the bat, which was already soggy from sweat. Realizing that, I wiped it down with my sleeve. If something were to happen, I wouldn't want it to be slippery. Since this morning, I had become especially sensitive to the presence of cars. Even while walking, my ears pricked up and sought out threatening sounds and presences that could be closing in. And that was why I could hear it. Without a doubt, they were footsteps. Those footsteps had matched up perfectly with mine for a while now. From what I could sense, it was just one person. But I had no intention of being careless. Kill them. Nope, they're trying to kill you. They're stalking you. It's probably what happened to Tometake. Kill him. I don't give a fuck who it is. Rika, I'm sorry if I end up killing you. Satoko, you were a bitch anyways. Mion, I really liked you, but you went full crazy. Rena, you're still fucking crazy. Kill all of them. Just some random old person? Sorry, you shouldn't be walking behind me at the exact same pace. You are all going to die. Did they intend to follow me like that car this morning until we were in a good location to assault me? It wasn't a good idea to keep walking like this. I stopped walking and looked back. The wooded path crowded with trees responded with silence, as if there was nobody there to begin with. But I wouldn't be fooled. I was certain footsteps were following me. And just as I stopped, the footsteps stopped as well. Meaning the person following me wanted to keep their distance. That was without question proof that I was their target. I held my breath, waiting for that presence to panic and start moving again. The trees rustled with the sound of the wind. The Higurashi also joined in the dissonant chorus, trying to throw my focus into disarray. Had 5 minutes passed? Or had I been like this for a whole 30 minutes? It was so hard to breathe that I might have suffocated. It seemed I would be the first one to panic. Without a doubt, he was lurking in the shade of the tree with bated breath. Then I'd make the first move. I fixed my grip on the bat. I raised it up to my shoulder to be ready to swing it at any time. Hey! I know you're there! With all of my might, I screamed at whoever was hiding in the shade of the trees. But the presence in the shade didn't budge. Until the moment I found them, they had no intention of revealing themselves. Kick their ass! I know already. I know you're there. I screamed out angrily at them again, but even still they didn't move at all. Then I'll go over there myself. Kill 'em! With all due vigilance, I approached step by step. Stepping into the tree shadow, I saw a human figure there. Beat the shit out of him! That figure was curled up like a small animal. Kill her! Rena! Kill her. Kill her. She's going to kill you now. She probably has a knife on her that second you get close, she's just going to stab you right in the gut. Or like just cut your throat open and say, oops, didn't mean to do that. When she realized I had found her, her expression softened. She seemed apologetic, but wasn't going to speak a word. Did you have some business with me? I wouldn't accept that silence and scream the question at her. Not really, it's just, Rena was in a panic with tears welling up in her eyes. But it's obvious that she had been following me. What about the club? Since you're not, I'm not. That shouldn't matter. Don't mind me and just play. But I'm just worried about you. Thinking about how I'd been acting up until now, it wasn't hard to imagine that my behavior could have been perceived as strange. So Rena was concerned. At a quick glance, that's how it would seem. She was following you. That's not concern. That is that's creepy. But I wasn't going to let my guard down that easily. Even if that was really the case, she still wouldn't have to do something like try to tail me. She should have called out to me when I was leaving and had gone out right with me. But Rena didn't do that. She kept her distance from me and matched my walking speed. Or on top of that, she matched the sound of her footsteps and deviously tried to hide her presence from me. Then after she realized I noticed she was there, she held her breath as she tried hiding from me. She wore a timid expression, but would force one to make pity on her. But without a doubt, she was tailing me. Stop following me! How? Still glaring at Rena, I continued walking onwards. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust her at all. She's definitely not trustworthy in my opinion. She's following you and bullshit like that. After I'd walked for a bit, she ignored my command and began walking again, so I yelled at her once again. I told you not to follow me! But my house is in the same direction. Then walk ahead of me. I'll start walking once I can't see you anymore. I moved out of the way and waved my bat violently to urge her forward. I'd like to go home together with you. Fuck off, no. Making a pitiful expression, she meekly squeaked out the words in a voice that she knew would cut into my heart. But I became a fucking asshole, and I don't give a fuck anymore. No, seriously though. She is manipulative as shit. Not worth getting in trouble with that because she's going to kill you. Just way too suspicious. That agitated me to no end. I knew it was a lie. If you wanted to go home together, then you should have called out to me. Now you're just blurting out random lies. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It seemed that the seething anger within me was written all over my face. Good. Even without me saying anything, Rena had understood that what I was feeling inside. If you get it, then go. I swung the bat, urging her again to walk. Rena looked back and forth between me and the bat and started walking hesitantly, then stopped again. Go on then, hurry! I'm going! So please stop with the bat. It's scary. Rena guarded herself while pointing at me holding the bat. She may have realized that I wasn't planning on using this bat for baseball. I'll play fucking baseball with her head. I lowered the bat, but still guardedly opened the way for her. Go. There's no problem now, is there? There was nothing else she could protest. She passed by me timidly so as not to set me off. As I watched her pass by, she stopped completely after having barely moved at all. Kill her. Keep beating the shit out of her. Do it. Hey, don't stop! Then a powerful gust blew past us, barraging my face with dust. It's a trap! The dust got into my eyes and clouded my vision. While rubbing my eyes with my left hand, I swung blindly with the bat in my right, protecting the small opening I had presented. But Rena didn't even try to attack during that opening. Attack me? No, she hadn't budged an inch. Oh, she's gone into psycho, Rena. I could tell from the sound of her fluttering skirt in the wind. As her skirt settled, so did the silence. At that moment, the voice inside of me immediately warned me of the impending danger. Hit her in the bat. Hit her with the bat in the head. Do it. She's gonna, turn on you and just go crazy. I was caught by surprise. The smell of the air had changed. Without me realizing it, the air around me suddenly felt like a calamity was about to befall me. Wait. Okay, no. Just making sure I hadn't accidentally skipped over something. It was like the air had suddenly become invisible concrete, like Rena and I were locked in this space. Rena didn't move an inch. Also unable to move, I stared at her back. Rena was the first to break the silence. Instantly, she altered her stance. I felt like I had just witnessed her shift from Rena into that other person who looks like Rena. But the voice was one I knew well, which filled me with a kind of bewildering pity. Carelessly, I felt relief upon hearing that pitiful voice. Well, excuse me, but can I ask you something? Too shy to even turn around, Rena squeezed her voice out desperately. It's a trick. As she trembled. What? Well, why do you have a bat? I wonder. The question Rena asked was by no means unexpected. I can carry whatever I want. But you didn't have one up until today. Why so suddenly? It's alright if I decide to do something suddenly, isn't it? Is it strange that I have a bat? Because, Keiichi, you're not the kind of person to play baseball. It's weird. I couldn't tell what kind of answer she was looking for, and I was getting tired of answering her. I just suddenly got the urge to play baseball. Is that so weird? It's weird. God, it's not worth it. She answered instantly, and that annoyed me slightly. I just suddenly wanted to play baseball, and I wanted to practice my swing, so I'm carrying around a bat. What's strange about that? Strange. Weird. Definitely. Why is Keiichi-kun also? Your ramblings are annoying me. Is it that strange for me to have an interest in sports? I tried to sound a bit more threatening to end the conversation. Until my suspicions about Rena were cleared, I had no obligation to answer her questions. I'm sorry. Don't get so angry. Rena still didn't turn around and spat out words of apology one after the next. Just one last thing. Tell me one last thing. I don't feel like talking anymore. Hurry up and go! I yelled loudly at her, causing her to flinch like she had been struck. Seeing her in such a pathetic state caused my heart to ache sorely. But even though she was afraid, she stubbornly kept herself from moving. It's not worth it. It's a trick. It's a trap. Before I was able to threaten her again, Rena asked her final question. Why is that bat the same too? What did she mean by the bat was the same? I had no idea what she was talking about. What are you saying? I mean, why is even the bat the same? I don't understand what you mean at all. Say it clearly. Even still, Rena didn't turn around. After inhaling deeply, she screamed, I mean, why is even the bat the same as Satoshi-kun's? Satoshi being... Huh? The guy who, Satoko's brother. Yeah, the guy who got, demoned away or whatever. Yay, I'm glad I took his bat. That's not a bad omen at all. Right? What's the worst that could happen, you know? Upon hearing that name out of the blue, I became dumbfounded for a brief moment. But she just slipped up because she said she had no idea who the hell that kid was. Because she said, I had no idea, he transferred before I got here. In that same tone, exactly. So, she's a liar. Beat her over the head! She probably actually contributed to him being demoned away. By Satoshi, did she mean the student who transferred out last year? No, that couldn't be. Rena had tried to cover it up by saying he transferred, but Oishi-san told me quite clearly that he was missing. He was the student who sat at my seat up until last year. He was believed to have been demoned away by Oyashiro-sama's curse. I didn't know the details about his disappearance. The aunt he lived with was killed the night of the Watanagashi by a drug addict, and not long after that, he suddenly vanished and was now missing. That Satoshi and I were... What? My gaze fell to the bat in my hands. Could it be Satoshi Hojo? Oh, fuck me. It was a bit difficult to see, but that was what was written on the white tape at the end of the bat. You didn't check first! Oh my god! Always check if there's something on the bat, you dumbass. God damn it, Keiichi. I see. So this was Satoshi's bat. Oh. This was Satoshi's bat. Since nobody was using it, I borrowed it. It's not a problem, is it? That's not it! The way Rena said that made it seem like this bat was something that should never be touched. Like it was some sort of offering at a shrine, or a memento of the deceased. I could only stand there perplexed and unable to respond. Rena continued speaking without waiting for a reply. Why is it that you're doing the exact same thing Satoshi-kun did when it happened to him? Rena was talking about more than just the bat belonging to Satoshi. It was the same with Satoshi-kun. He joined the baseball team, but he didn't really like baseball. What does that have to do with me? Satoshi-kun also suddenly started walking around with a bat one day. He joined a team, but he wasn't the type to play sports. What about it? I closed my mouth before I could say that out loud. Listen carefully, Keiichi. Rena's trying to tell us something important. Satoshi-kun also one day came to school all by himself all of a sudden. Just like Keiichi-kun. Then one day he suddenly started practicing his swing. Just like Keiichi-kun. Then one day he suddenly began carrying the bat around with him. Just like Keiichi-kun. Then one day he suddenly... What? Rena had swallowed her words. Rena's sudden silence brought a hush back to the surrounding area. It was then I could finally digest the content of the entire conversation. She was saying my chain of actions was exactly the same as Satoshi's. What was the meaning of this? Up until just now, I had forgotten all about Satoshi. I had never paid much thought to him in the first place. Not only that, I didn't even know anything of what he'd done. My actions today should have been my own creation. After all the planning I had done. But they had been the exact same as Satoshi's. God, it all comes full fucking circle! But where did Satoshi get the bat? The other guy that got demoned away. Jeez, that would be so fucked up. Then Satoshi. No, more importantly, if both Satoshi and I acted the same, then there was a really good possibility that what happened after would be the same. Rena, that day, what happened to Satoshi? Rena knew. She knew what became of Satoshi. No, forget about what happened to a guy in the past. Rena knew what was going to happen to me. Answer me, Rena! Satoshi, what happened to him? With that, I grabbed Rena's shoulder violently and forcibly turned her around to face me. As I faced her, I felt a jolt travel through my entire body. Oh, fuck me. No. Kill her. Hit her with a bat. I told you. Keiichi-kun. It was that person that I didn't know. At least it definitely wasn't the Rena Ryugu I'd been talking to up until now. The voice was just now didn't have a trace of the trembling or emotion that it had before. God, I hate it whenever people have two of the same words right next to each other. It's the worst. The amount of regret I felt for turning her around so carelessly was unsurpassed. That gaze that pierced me like a cold needle, like the needle she put in the food that trying to kill me. The smile on her face that invoked an image of having been carved out by a knife. Chills went down my spine. My mind froze under a layer of rhyme. Rhyme? Whatever. Can we not use, just a regular fucking words? No. Because that's too easy. Both of Rena's eyes piercing through mine, leaving me unable to look away. As if to remind me of the fear from that time before, Rena brought her face close to mine, so close that I could feel her breath. Hit her in the head! Stop it! Her face had filled my entire field of vision. Then her sharply shaped eyes grew even sharper, like the curve of a crescent moon. She grinned. I told you, Keiichi-kun. After a short pause, Rena repeated the same words again. Satoshi-kun, you see, transferred out. No, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. Stop it. Stop it, background sound effects and music. Transferred, meaning what? What Rena meant must have been some new definition of transfer that I was previously not aware of. My throat and lips dried up. I couldn't even acknowledge what I had just heard. All I could do was swallow down my own saliva. It would seem that Rena saw that as a nod. She pulled her gaze back and spryly stepped back 2-3 paces. As she did, my legs gave out and I fell to my knees pathetically. Rena and me on my knees underneath her, a motionless smile. That had to be a very odd sight indeed. Seeing me in that pathetic state, she neither scoffed at me nor held out her hand, but I could neither stay nor escape with her gaze shooting through my eyes. There was undoubtedly, a metal bat in my hand. God, I hate the word doubtedly. Undoubtedly. Too many weird sounding letters. God. But right now it was useless to me. I was like a fly caught in her web. Heavy sweat beaded down from my body. I could feel it dripping from my skin. But you won't, will you? Keiichi-kun? Rena finally released me from that cage of time, after what felt like an eternity. But her question was missing something important, and was incredibly vague. Once again I swallowed hard, urging her on. Do what? What did she not want me to do? Transfer. Fuck me. Oh, hell no. Can I just kill her right now? Oh, no. Seriously, though? I would stand up, beat the shit out of her. I don't even care. You're going to die today. Personally, at least that's what I would do. Because that's just a, oh, hell the hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Let's go ahead and save. Yeah, let's save there. But after that fucking ride, yeah, I think I'm going to end it off today because I feel like I'm going to shit myself if anything else happens. Make sure you like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.